You're listening to The Prop Shop, the #1 podcast for your shop. Brought to you by the UnitedPropBuilders, Coffee Powered Media, and Tucker Props, with your hosts Adam Hazy, Sean Toomey, and Ryan Tucker.
Hey shop rats, welcome to The Prop Shop, the podcast that brings you the coolest tips and tricks for your costuming and replica prop needs. We're your hosts, Adam Hazy.
And Sean Toomey.
And Ryan Tucker is still lost in space. So until we get that recording from him, he's missing.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
So Sean, have you been up to anything recently?
I moved, so...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I moved. That's pretty much it, actually.
Nice.
So
I finally figured out what my next two cosplays are going to be.
Ooh, do tell.
So it's going to be Gen 1 Optimus Prime from Transformers. And then my second one is going to be a Team Magma Grunt for the upcoming Ruby and Sapphire re-releases.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty stoked about those.
Cool.
So I would say we have a pretty special guest, wouldn't you say, Sean?
I'd say you're about right.
So let's go ahead and get his intro going. From parts unknown, a professional wrestler and professional cosplay circuit creator. From every convention ever, he's here to talk to you, Eric the Smoke Moran. I hope I pronounced his last name correctly.
No, you didn't.
No!
I knew you were going to do that.
Smoke Moran.
Ah, so close.
Oh, that's all right. A lot of people get my last name mixed up. That's why I have everyone calling me the Smoke or Smoke.
I even practiced it ahead of time, and I still messed it up.
Yeah, he practiced. He spent like 15 minutes trying to say, okay, it's Moran, not Moron.
So when you're saying Mo, see, all you got to remember is Mo had ran to the store, and that's easy to remember. So you're like, oh, Moran, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Moran from Happy Days, That's how you got to see. So, but hello guys, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I am doing outstanding. Just running around with my chicken, with my head cut off like a chicken, and trying to get everything ready under the sun. Doing some promotional stuff for Wizard World this weekend, and getting ready for the Wizard World convention coming up June 19th to the 22nd next week.
That's pretty awesome, and that's in Philadelphia for this one, correct?
Exactly. I cannot wait. It's going to be an amazing show.
Yeah, the lineup for that looks pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm really excited. I'm going to be not only hosting my panels and debuting two of my films, one of my film series and a new film series I'm debuting, but I'm going to be hosting a couple of different cosplay panels, as well as I am hosting the Cosplay Adult Contest.
That sounds pretty good.
It's like a really big thing for Wizard World, and so far it's like really done well, and it's been doing great. The baton was passed on to me by Jared Crippen, aka the Diffuser from Who Wants to Be a Superhero. He passed the baton on to me to carry on the tradition of hosting, and so far everybody loves my way of hosting. So I just been having the time of my life. That's
pretty awesome. Are you able to explain kind of what your panels are going to be for the upcoming convention?
Yeah, I got a couple of panels. It's going to be on Men of Cosplay, talking about the different things that us fellow males go through as cosplayers, from costuming to wearing the right equipment, if you know what I mean, costumes, to also panels on cosplaying on a whole with some of the top cosplayers around, like Ivy Doom Kitty, Ruby Renesco. You're going to have, I'm going to be having a panel for those people who are Doctor Who Torchwood fans. My Legacy series, which is a Torchwood Doctor Who crossover, which was praised by BBC America, and they've been playing our trailer on their website. We are showing our series Legacy, the newest episode, which is episode 4, Lockdown, and has received a lot of praise. And also, one of my other panels I'm hosting is the Judge the Curse Edge, the Deep End panel, which is based around Dread, and I'm going to be debuting my first episode ever of our UK/US collaboration of the Deep End, which is a spinoff of the famous Curse Edge series. So, sorry about that noise in the back.
That's okay.
That was my little G.I. Joe thing. But no, and basically the panels are basically going to be showing the masses these great new films. What makes the Judge Dredd Curse Edge Deep End panel so special is the first time I ever collaborated with someone overseas, and I've gotten a chance to work with some great people overseas in the UK. Oliver Hollandale and my buddy Jason Prieston from Australia. So it's the first time where you got these independent movie companies collaborating and doing spin-off series. Oliver has a great spin-off series over in the UK, which is a major hit for supporting the Judge Dredd supporting the Judge Dredd sequel, which is The Curse Edge. Because I was such a fan of Dredd and I was a big supporter of Oliver, I wanted to start my own series, and me and Oliver were talking. And the next thing you know, we went in production with Kurt Strauss, who is the CEO of Real Leathers. Who anybody you've seen, most of the cosplayers wearing the Judge Dredd uniforms are basically, or Dredd uniforms from the movie Dredd, are through more likely through Kurt. So basically, he and I got together. We wrote up a script, and people seem to be catching on to it. People love the trailer. So it's just a lot of different panels, a lot of great panels. I'm going to be like in the 4 days that we're going to be doing the con. I'm planning on breaking my record of doing 8 costumes.
Oh wow!
So, and I'm introducing maybe 4 brand new costumes.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
So yeah, a lot of people are going to be very surprised one of the costumes because I'm doing a little something uniquely special. When you guys see the pictures, you guys are going to lose your mind. Trust me.
Oh, I can't wait to see those.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty cool that you're actually working with like overseas studios and all that, because it's not every day that if you're trying to do like a short film or some kind of series that you can actually work with another company somewhere else.
Yeah, Skype, and I know you guys are having like trying to get this together with the Skype thing, but Skype is and any other kind of tool that you can use to talk to other people overseas has been the greatest tool and technology you could ever ask for. You get a chance to meet people that you never thought you would meet in a lifetime if you didn't have this kind of technology. So the possibilities are endless, and what we just did, basically when the audience sees it, they're going to be very surprised. And at the same time, it's opened more doors because now we're going to be doing other projects and we're going to be collaborating on some other projects as well. So I'm very excited. As the months continue, we're going to be surprising a lot of the fans out there, especially my fellow cosplayers, and costumers. So,
yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to see those come out.
Yes.
So, do you have like a favorite cosplay you have done so far besides the ones we haven't seen yet?
Well, it was funny when you mentioned Optimus Prime. I had the pleasure of debuting my Optimus Prime last year at RetroCon, and I will be bringing Optimus Prime from Fall of Cybertron to Wizard World next week. Great Mike Hegley, who's basically an amazing prop maker and armor maker. Mike and I collaborated on building Optimus Prime last year, and we also did our 40K Warhammer suits. And
I remember seeing those. Me and Mike are friends on Facebook and have been chit-chatting for the past year or so. And I've just been watching those builds, and I'm like, wow, those are just incredible.
Mike is amazing, and along with Sid Garrett from Nightmare Armor Studios, who helped me collaborate on my Black Legion Chaos Armor. Mike helped out in a big way, and basically, it's nice to be able to collaborate. I'm very big about collaborating with different people. As we were speaking right now, my buddy and you can somewhat call him my protege, my buddy Brandon Parker, Major Parker. He and I are working on this special project, and he's working in the background right now while I'm doing the podcast with you guys.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
yeah, so it's I find it's great when I can do solo projects, but it's even better when you're working with other people because they might spot stuff on a costume that you never even thought about doing, or they can. And in certain aspects, when I worked with other cosplayers and I worked on projects when I was building my Spawn costume, and I remember I had two of my fellow cosplayers here. Man, I was just like, as I'm talking, I'm getting inspired by, and I'm coming up with all these great ideas, and it just happens like it hits me spontaneously. So it's great when you can collaborate with great people that are that gives you inspiration to want to do the best you can to show off, to be able to show off your costume on the showroom floor. The only thing I tell people most of the time, which is important, you never forget about the people that helped you build that costume. Don't ever come off like, oh, I did it all myself and I didn't have any help.
Right.
That's bogus, man. That's bogus. So, and I just been having a lot of fun. So, like I said again, it's been a blessing, total
Yeah.
blessing.
And another great thing about working with other people is they all have a different skill set from different backgrounds with different materials. So
Exactly.
you could be like, oh man, I really want to do this, but I don't know how to do it. And your buddy's like, oh, hey, I've worked with this material for years. Do it like this. It's lightweight, strong, easy to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, I have great friends out there in the costuming prop world. I have my friend Ray who does Blade. He does Ramos. Ramos. He basically sent me some materials to work with recently, and just to get my hands on different materials.
Yeah.
Because I said again, it just expands the horizon. I mean, people like Dale Harvey, who's like one of my brothers in arms. We started a page. Dale Harvey, Anthony Lee, Mike, basically Sean Shaw. We all got together and I said, well, why don't we create a page called the Armor Corps? And basically anybody that has questions about armor or how to make gauntlets or how to make props or anything of the sort, making armor suits, they can go on this page and ask away and ask questions and everything else. And any of us are on there. We try to motivate and, people post up their stuff, and which is a great way of getting together with great ideas and seeing some people with their great talent. I remember when Dale and I collaborated and we started doing our Gears of War stuff together. And Dale has been like building stuff. He just finished doing a Titanfall costume, and I mean seriously, he blew me away with that. So like I said, you have a lot of great people out here, a lot of great costumers, and I'm like I said again, I'm honored to be a part of that.
Yeah. So, besides just being a cosplayer, you were also a judge a few times for some contests, weren't you?
Oh, yes, I was. When I first started off at Wizard, I was a judge. The first time I did judging for Wizard World was back in Philadelphia, back around 2011. And basically, it opened the doors for me to do more things. I hosted kids events, costume events for kids and stuff. You had the adult contest and you had the kids contest on Sundays. So basically, it taught me a lot. And seeing the different costumers and cosplayers that come through on stage, it's really great because all of them put their heart and soul into a costume, whether it's a store-bought costume, whether it's a handmade costume. I have a lot of respect for anybody who can get in costume, walk on the showroom floor, and have taste and class to that costume. So to me, it's really something to see them, doing their thing.
Yeah, it's always good to see that. And do you have like a certain thing you look for when you personally judge these contests?
I think for me, it's about presentation. Again, like if you were, let's say, for example, let's say hypothetically, you come on stage in a store-bought costume as Magneto. Okay, well, I don't care what kind of costume you're wearing. I care about what do you bring to that character. This is how you show me your fandom, your true fandom. Anybody can put on a costume, but if you put on a costume and you get in that character, it will show. It doesn't matter how if your costume isn't high end, if you're coming out on that showroom floor and you're becoming that character, people are going to be like, oh wow, he did a great Magneto. The costume might not have been to certain people's standards, but if he felt good about it and he brought it to the stage and he brought that attitude to the stage, that plays a big part. For
Yeah,
me, it's a matter of presentation. It's a matter of presentation.
Yeah, because you can always tell the difference from somebody who makes or buys a costume just because it's popular at the time to somebody who actually cares and loves that character.
But you know what? It kills me because I've seen some really amazing costumes. I mean, they work their asses off on these costumes, and they come on stage and they're like, "Look at me, I'm in the costume." Look,
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm in character, when I do my cosplay, any of my characters, because I know these characters. When I do a Chaos Marine, I'm a Chaos Marine. So I'm like, welcome to the chaos. And I start getting in character, and people are like, oh my God. And
Yeah,
all
and that
stuff.
shows in your pictures too that I've seen on Facebook. Like you can tell you're into what you're doing.
Exactly, exactly. And like I said again, if you love doing the character, it doesn't matter who you do. You can say, hey, I want to be a trash can and walk around as a trash can. Hey, be the greatest trash can you can be. If
That'd be
you
pretty
walk
sweet. I kind of want to see that.
but no, but what I'm trying to get at is the fact that again, you got some great cosplayers with some great costumes, but if you're walking on the stage and thinking my costume is going to say it all, I don't have to do anything, then you're in the wrong kind of place to be on a contest or anything like that. If you're coming up there, just as much as you put your heart and soul into that costume, put your heart and soul into that character, bring it to the stage.
Right, because that's the important thing is show your passion for what you love.
Exactly, and people will respect it even more. I remember, and I'm gonna say this. One of the first times I judged, I will never forget. This always left an impression on me. They did this. This contestant came out. It was a group. It was a group contestant. They did a big Doctor Who thing, and this little kid who came out as a Cyberman, and I mean, seriously, I could not stop laughing because when he came on stage, he did the moves, he did everything as if you're watching Doctor Who. It was like, hey, it's little mini Cyberman.
That's
But
awesome.
it blew me away. If you saw it, guys, trust me, you would, and you're Doctor Who fans, and you're sitting there like, oh my God. And he's doing it, and the kid is doing it, and he's stopping and I'm like, okay, this kid's got my vote. This kid's got my vote.
It's
He
awesome.
brought it to the stage, and that's what I'm talking about. You're not gonna walk around. How you doing? I'm a Cyberman. How you doing? You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna be like human. And like you will be simulated and all this stuff. And I'm like, hand over that piece of technology. I will announce it to the audience and audience, and I will get the audience so riled up, like, wow, man, it's like that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about you got a chance to be that character for a day, live it to the fullest, and have fun with it, and let people know who you are when you walk in the room. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, a question that's on a lot of people's minds actually is how different is it being a professional cosplayer compared to like just a everyday regular cosplayer? Is there a difference for you?
Not really. I mean, people have come up to me, so you're a professional cosplayer. I'm like, look, I just happen to love doing. I just happen to be a cosplayer, costumer that happens to wear a lot of costumes.
Yeah.
And the thing is that one person, one of my inspirations, one of my mentors in cosplay and prop making, Bryn Londo, he said, hey, Smoke, you're a cosplay ambassador. And the next thing I know, that same title is being used lately. And to me, a cosplay ambassador, to me, it's not, you're beyond being a professional, you're beyond being a novice. You're a cosplayer that's representing what cosplaying is all about. So to me, that's what a cosplay ambassador is. You're going out there, you're doing events, you're talking to kids, you're doing charitable stuff. To me, that's what's representing what a cosplay ambassador. So I don't believe in elites. I don't believe there's no such thing as an elitist cosplay. There's no such thing as a professional cosplayer. There's no such thing as uh, just plain old cosplayer. You're just cosplaying. If you can wear, and I've said this in my quotes before, if you can put on a costume, no matter what age, creed, gender, size, color, if you put on a costume and you bring no drama, then you're a costumer or a cosplayer. Either way, you're doing it right. Someone put out this T-shirt saying cosplay, doing it right, and I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah, there was a lot of hubbub going on about that.
Yeah, if you put on a costume and you bring no drama, then you're a cosplayer. And to me, anybody that I see in a costume that is, going about and doing something positive and not bringing any drama, to me, they are cosplay ambassadors. Every one of us who wears that costume, it's like wearing a uniform. It's like you become that character. You're not going to be dressed as Superman and smoking a cigarette in front of kids. That's not representing what a cosplayer is about. Representing a cosplayer is if you're wearing a Superman costume, you're Superman. You're going to walk around Superman. I mean, granted, you might walk in the corner somewhere and you scratch your butt or something, you go off in the corner somewhere, but you're representing that character.
Right, especially for people or little kids who's going to see you and think you really are that character.
Exactly. And kids are very impressionable. So it's important that when you're wearing those costumes, as much as you may, have that really sexy look, or you may have that real methodical look, or you may have that scary look, again, you're being that character. People are watching. Doesn't matter if it's kids or adults. People are watching. They want to see what you're going to do next. As I've said before on plenty of occasions, and I stand by these words, not knocking any TV, movie, actor, actresses. But to me, when you think about Comic-Cons, who do you always see at the Comic-Cons? The cosplayers. And I've said this before in my interviews. Cosplayers are the true superstars of the Comic-Cons. So to me, when I go to a Comic-Con, yeah, it's great to see a superstar here or meet a celebrity there, but it's even cooler when you see most of these highlights of these Comic-Cons are what cosplayers are wearing, who's wearing the newest costume, what costume blew out everyone out the water.
Yeah, because
you see that more at Comic-Cons than you see, hey, there goes so-and-so, and he's at the Comic-Con. I would love to see an actor or actors, and there has been a few, that will get in costume and run around and have fun because they get it and they're fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I said again, it's an incredible thing.
Because like most of the time when you see coverage, you're like, look at all these awesome costumes, and then like maybe you'll hear about, oh, there was this panel too that was pretty good.
Yeah, I know Bryan Cranston did something unique. He for San Diego Comic-Con, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, he put on a Heisenberg mask. And he walked around as Heisenberg. He cosplayed himself. And then
that's great.
When he got to his panel, he took off the mask, and it was Bryan Cranston under the mask. So I thought it was great. I thought it was, and I've heard like other cosplayers. I mean, other stars have done it. Ron Zombie has done it.
I heard Hugh Jackman did it once. He was Wolverine, and somebody was like, "Oh no, you're not doing it right." And then later at his panel, he called him out on it. Like, how could I not do it right? I am him.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just like the fact that you can go out there and have fun. And when people see these cons, a lot of us want to see, oh man, let's see if I see my friend who wore this costume, or I want to see whose costume really stood out. And there's so many great. It's like a smorgasbord of great costumers and cosplayers. So you can't just say, well, that was my favorite one, but no, that was my favorite one, but no, wait, that one was my favorite one. It's so many out there at every con, so it's hard to pick.
Yeah, because I know for me, when I can't go to the conventions or whatever, I like going through the pictures and I'll be like, oh, there's my friend from blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's like just being able to point them out. It's like, I know his suit of armor. That's him.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, that's just always amazing to be able to see and experience. It's just fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And something that we didn't bring up during your awesome intro was you're actually a DC superhero now, too.
Oh, yeah. Couple good things are happening in that field. Dan Didio from DC Comics, one of the heads of DC Comics, basically he knows I was an avid fan of DC, of course. And I've every time when I've done he's done like New York Comic Con or any convention, I'm friends with Dan. I've always come up to Dan like, Dan, check me out. I'm doing this and all. I did Darkseid and all. When he bought out Freight Train from Batman Incorporated, Freight Train basically, when I saw Freight Train, I was like, the first thing that came to mind was like, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah.
And when I did the cosplay of Freight Train, I sent Dan pictures and I was like, well, and Dan was like, hey, Freight Train, and he started calling me Freight Train. So last year I sent him a picture of one of Black Adam, me as the 52 Black Adam, and just like wishing him a happy holiday. So he decided to turn around and wish me a happy holiday by giving me the greatest Christmas gift around, and that is basically immortalizing me as a DC comic book character and giving the identity name of Freight Train to me. And so basically, Freight Train's his real name is Eric Moran now. So I was kind of blown away. I was kind of taken back, and then I was blown away. I was like, oh my god, if they ever decide to bring him back, and Dan has been talking about possibly bringing him back in the DC 52. So I'm very excited. It's like the biggest honor anyone can ask. I mean, it's a whole different level now because you're like, wait a second, I'm a DC comic book
Yeah,
guy.
that's pretty amazing. Because I seen it on Facebook when it first happened. I was like, wow, that is incredibly awesome. And yeah, you guys look exactly alike.
Yeah, and I mean, and the coolest thing, I mean, right after that, I was in a comic book prior for Big City Comics for the series Tempest, and I played as a vampire and I played as myself. In fact, I'm on the cover, and it was ironic because I was like, oh, this is great. Who could ask for anything more? I'll never get a chance to be on a DC comic book cover or Marvel or anything. And lo and behold, this happens. And then recently, my image will be used for George Perez's new comic book series, Sirens.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, and George is like one of my childhood like artist heroes growing up. Like he was my inspiration when I started drawing. One of the reasons why I love doing superheroes and all. And George, like, and again, he's a friend now. And I never thought growing up, like, I'm going to be friends with the guy who did the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and all these other great books. Oh my God, oh my God. So, and again, it's a great experience to be able to say, well, yeah, I'm a comic book character in a couple different comic books. And, I'm a major comic book character for DC Comics. So, what more could you ask for? That's
Yeah.
when you've been doing the costuming cosplay thing right. And what I mean by that, by paying your dues and showing the world that, hey, this is something positive. We're not just geeks. We're really animate fans, but we show it in a classy kind of way, in a cool kind of way.
Yeah, I can't wait for those to come out now. Those are going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But
Including my wife. I mean, my wife, who's also a cosplayer, she's also in the book as well. Her,
oh, that's even better.
Oh yeah. It's great. It's like I said, who could ask for anything more, man?
But here's a question though:
Mm-hmm.
if you dress up as them, are you cosplaying or are you just being you?
That's a good question.
Because they are you.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like it's funny because Freight Train. When I did the vampire thing, they used my real name and everything else, and I'm like, because I have so many different sides to me. Like Freight Train is a hero for hire. He's not like Luke Cage, but he lets it be known that, hey, I got these superpowers. Guess what? You need my help. You got to pay me for my help. And so, lately because he's been working with Batman, before they changed over to DC 52, he started becoming more in league with Batman Incorporated and what have you. So, but he's still a smartass. So. Freight Train represents that pro wrestling side of me, where the vampire that I played as in Tempest represented that methodical, like basically how I look at the world methodically and all, and have that whole dark side mode to me and everything else. That represents that. So I, with Sirens, and I'm in it as an alien from this like warrior race and all. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just like, okay, I gotta cosplay this. It's like I said again. It's surreal. It's surreal. I'm telling you right now, it's surreal. And I think one of the things everybody keeps asking me, well, if they bring Freight Train back and you get an action figure and you become a cartoon character and all, and I'm like, yeah, that again, it's surreal because anything is possible. They have a Wii game, I forgot what the game is called. It's like a not Teletubby. It's a Wii U game, and they have all the DC characters in it. Recently, someone sent me a picture of the Outsiders who are in this game, and of course, they have a Freight Train picture.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
I'm like, Freight Train is in the game, and I'm like, oh my God, yes. What was it called? Scribblenauts. That's what it was. Scribblenauts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, Scribble Knots. Okay.
yeah, and I'm in the game. Freight Train is in the game, and I'm like, oh my God. So now you know what that means. I got to buy a Wii U and I got to buy the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can say, yes, I'm playing as myself. Yes, look, I'm kicking ass. Yes. So I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
So if there ever is a movie, you have to be the actor. If you're not, I'm going to be really sad.
Oh, well, you can best believe I will be hitting the gym extremely hard. Extremely hard.
Yeah.
Just to get that part. I'm like, look, that was tailor made for me. Dan wrote it for Nike, for me. For me.
Yeah.
I deserve to be in it. So like I said, hey, one can only hope and pray and dream.
Yeah, that'd be spectacularally awesome.
And that's if I don't beat them to the punch and make my own film based on Freight Train.
Yeah.
So it could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
Who knows? Maybe an announcement at Wizard World Philadelphia. I'm kidding. No, that's probably, I don't know if that'll happen.
You never know. You never know. That's a good idea, though. I never even thought about it yet.
Yeah.
Now you got the wheels turning. Anyway, but go ahead.
But yeah, that's all amazing. Everything that's been happening for you. That's just great.
But I'm surprised you didn't bring up. I was waiting for the question. I'm going to wait to see what else you ask before I say anything. I'm going to see if you're going to bring this up. Go ahead.
Well, now I'm sitting here thinking, what was it I need to bring up? Should I bring up what I don't think I need to think I should bring up?
So, you tell me. Let's see what the next question is going to be, and then I might be able to tell you.
See, now I don't remember what my question was.
Oh, come on.
You've screwed him up now.
Uh,
Come on, think, Adam, think.
Sean, go.
I don't have anything. I'm like, have you ever thought about going into motivational cosplay speaking?
I kind of do that right now.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked that. It's like, I mean, have you ever thought about actually doing that?
I'm surprised y'all haven't talked about a certain TV show
A certain TV show.
that I'm currently appearing on.
You're appearing on a TV show?
I'm appearing on a current TV show.
Is it
And
Heroes of Cosplay? Question mark?
there you go.
So what was it like being on Heroes of Cosplay?
Oh, wait. I'm actually going to be on the next, matter of fact, next week's episode. I'm going to be appearing on there. In fact, I made a quick appearance on the first episode of the new season of season 1.5. I'm on a couple episodes. I'm hosting some of the contests, and without giving too much away, all I'm going to say is you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised while you see me on the show. So, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I'm hosting on the show. So, whether it's a little or a lot, you'll see. But I'm happy to be hosting on the show. And like I said again, it's unique. I've gotten a lot of support. Like I said again, everybody has their different opinions on the show. I have my own. But because now I'm on the show, it's like, okay,
Kind of sways a
maybe
bit.
I've been told I bring a whole different, like when people saw me, there was like a sigh of relief, like, and they saw people like Ivy Doom Kitty on there and stuff. And Ivy's a good friend, and she and I have done like a lot of events together for Wizard and everything and panels. So, like I said again, it's great to be able to see a nice realm of different cosplayers on the show, not just the same ones that you see, but some new faces, that may have nothing to do with the costuming end of what's going on the show, but the process of getting to the contest and everything else and all. So it's going to be interesting when you guys see this. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to see it personally.
Yeah,
it was kind of surreal.
That even
it was
sounds
kind of
awesome.
surreal. Well, it was kind of surreal because people were coming over to me like, "That was you," and I'm like, "Yes, it was me." And at the time I couldn't talk about it, and I had to leave it. I had to keep it, to myself and all. But I was like, "Oh my God, wait till you guys! All this stuff is about to happen, and I can't talk about it yet." I'm not, and like I said again, without giving anything away, I'm just really excited about it. I hope people tune in just to watch, and like I said again, just gotta just be in store to what you see on there. People won't be disappointed when they see me on there. I'll just say it like that.
You're gonna have more and more people wanting your autograph every day.
But see, and that's the thing. I'm like, I'm an everyday dude. I mean, even as a pro wrestler, I was the same way. It was like, I'm an everyday dude. And people were like, oh my God, you're the smoke. Oh my God, can you put me in a headlock? And I'm like, sure, no problem. Yeah, take the picture, take the picture. And I mean, being a pro wrestler close to over 17 years, working with some of the greats, working with NWA Shockwave and working with TNA before everything like really blew up with them, and being trained by New Jack from ECW, and having the opportunity to open up a show with him, and working with Jazz and Rodney Mack. Like I said again, it's been a blessing just to be able to say that, hey, I've done all this stuff, and then on top of that, I was United States Marine. I was an original GI Joe. So again, that was like something else to, you could. It's so much that I sometimes look back and I've done so much, and to be able to tell other people, like, look, don't limit yourself from one thing. Do everything. Whenever you can, just do as much as you can, because life is too short. If you died tomorrow, God forbid, if you died tomorrow, what will you leave behind? And that's how I look at my life. I mean, everything I do from the comic books to cosplaying to wrestling, it's like what you leave behind. For my films and everything else, it's if I died tomorrow, God forbid, you know, I know my wife would be sad, but the thing is like she can see me in all different forms, and that's any of my friends or any of my supporters or anybody at that want to be inspired. All they have to do is look at what I've done so far, and I'm hoping that I can inspire a few people out there that want to do and not limit themselves.
Yeah, that sounds just amazing. And the two things I thought of was, one, has anybody ever asked you to slam them through a table?
Yes. Oh
That's
my God.
awesome.
I've been asked from everything from doing the smoking elbow to slamming them through a table to putting them in a sleeper hold, putting them in an arm lock, you name it. Yes.
Have you
Yes.
done it?
Well, for fun to take a picture and all that, yeah, of course. Have I done it for real? Nah. Yeah, believe it or not, when I'm in the ring, it's funny when people see me in the ring, I'm very ruthless in the ring. But then when I'm outside the ring and I'm not in that zone, I get this a lot from fans when they meet me. Oh my God, you're so nice. Wait a second, you're not like the way you are in the ring. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm sorry. It's just that when I'm in that ring, I'm smoke. I mean, I'm the smoke.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the ring as the smoke, I do not discriminate in the ring. So it's a free for all. If you're handicapped, you're going to get put down. If you're a woman, you're going to get put down. You're a dude, you're going to get put down. If you're a little kid, you're going to get put down. If you're a midget, you're going to get put down. So I don't discriminate in the ring.
That's the way it should be in the ring.
Exactly.
Don't go in the ring if you're not ready to fight.
If I've had my lumps, but at the same time, I've given some lumps. So, I've had, if you saw some of my match, holy crap, man. I've done some, I've went up against people like Mickey James and people like the Blue Meanie and stuff like that, or New Jack or Tony Atlas. So to be able to say, yes, I've done it. I've lived that dream as a pro wrestler. I've really, it's again, man, it's something. It's really something. It's really something.
That's just incredible, because you can check like everything off of your list. G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Comic book hero. Cosplayer. Professional wrestler.
Done it.
Space.
And,
in progress.
Actor, model. And like I said again, I'm just getting warmed up. If anybody can learn or be inspired by anything I've done or said, then hey, man, it's been worth it. It's been actually able to feel good to know that I've made an impact on someone.
Yeah, it's just all amazing how much you've actually done. And the fact
surreal.
that you're not even slowing down, you're just getting started, like you said.
Oh yeah, and like I said, when you see what I got coming up for the show, what I got planned, like I said, I try not to let anything slow me down. I think the biggest part that plays in this is my wife. God bless her for being in my corner, because with her being in my corner and her being a cosplayer and a fan, it makes all the difference in the world. I couldn't ask for anybody better and to have it at my side than my wife. She has been nothing but amazing, incredible. incredible.
Yeah, I believe it, because you don't want someone who's going to be like, oh, why are you doing that? It's a waste of time and money and blah, blah, blah. You'd rather have someone who's there to support you, doing it with you, having a great time together, building that relationship.
Well, I find it funny when I first started. I was always a fan of comic books and the sort. Growing up and going through high school and elementary school, I was always the odd kid. I was always the one that was like, oh my god, and I was already somewhat freakishly tall, but I was getting in trouble a lot. And as time gone on, I maintained who I was. I didn't change or compromise, and I would meet a lot of girls. I had no problem meeting girls, but I had a problem being able to hold on to them because the biggest thing was because I was into all this like stuff that most people look at or adults look at like, oh, that's for kids and all. And I didn't care. I didn't care what anybody thought, but I always tried to make a good impression with these girls. So I would put all my stuff I love to do aside to try to impress them or try to say yes, yes, I'm grown and all the stuff where my real love was what I love doing now.
Right.
And once I think after my last relationship before my wife, once I started realizing that, hey, I don't need anyone in my life to make me happy. As long as I can make myself happy, hey, anything else and everything else will fall in place. And once I got to that point, and realizing that and loving myself, and allowing myself to have fun with life, that's when my wife comes along. And I did not expect to meet her. And of all things, I went to go to a Star Trek event, and Avery Brooks was speaking. And next thing I know, my wife is looking for a seat, and I'm in the front row, and I'm like, come over here, sit next to me. And I'm asking my buddy Scott to move over. So the next thing you know, we instantly clicked. And from that point on, we were together every day. So I tell everybody out there, male or female, that there is someone out there for you. If I can find someone, you definitely can find someone. Trust me.
That's awesome. And I hate to cut things short, but we're starting to come up on time here for our podcast.
Okay.
So I'd like to thank you for coming on today and joining us in this interview.
Thank you. It's been a great pleasure and a great honor. Thank you guys so much for having me on. For everyone out there, check out my smoke page on Facebook. If you need to contact me on my Together Brothers page on Facebook, or you can go to the Legacy Facebook page, or check me out on Heroes of Cosplay at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights on the Sci-Fi channel, or you can go to YouTube and check out the Smoke 007 on my YouTube page and contact me there and check out some of the great films that I've collaborated on. And most importantly, thank you to all the cosplayers out there and it's being an inspiration to me. And guys, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's been a true honor.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can have you on again sometime.
Whenever you guys want, I'll be more than happy to come on.
And I have to say, be sure to check out his YouTube channel, because besides all that, you can also see all the different promotion videos or short clips about what's going on. They're pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, working with some great people like Ruby and Ruby Renesco and Brian Terranova. And I'm telling you right now, the cosplay community is so great. You're gonna have your little drama here and there, but all in all, I say 90% of it is it's more about the true fandom of what cosplay is all about. And thank God for all of us to be able to express how we feel about fandom in pop culture. So thank you guys, really.
And thank you once again.
You got it.
And Sean, where can people find you at if they wish to get in contact with you?
People can find me on YouTube at Coffee Powered Media and on Twitter at SeanNinja951.
Nice. And if people wish to get in contact with me, you can find me at youtube.com/UnitedPropBuilders, facebook.com/UnitedPropBuilders. Contact me via the podcast, The Prop Shop, and many other places throughout the web. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
See ya.